Hey guys, it's Jorge. I just wanted to make a update video because a lot has happened here in the NFL. First of all, I'll start off really quickly just with Josh Norman, just to touch on him. Um, Carolina rescinded his franchise tag, so he's a free agent now. Uh, like half the league is after the dude. It looks like he's visiting Washington today, and I think I saw an article saying Washington already has an offer on the table. I think he's going to be getting somewhere between 14 and 15 million a year, which would make him the highest paid defensive back in the league. Which I'm glad Miami didn't get him, to be honest with you. There's only two corners in the league that are over the age of 32. Josh Norman's going to be 29, so he's only got 3 years maybe. And it took him a long time to get into his prime. This is only his first year ever being a Pro Bowler, so we'll see what happens. He could be a really good pickup by Washington or San Francisco. I think has a good opportunity, but I didn't want to pay that for him. So, anyways, in other news, the Philadelphia Eagles traded up from number 8 to number 2 to presumably get Wentz. I think Goff's going to LA, so Wentz would go to the Eagles. I kind of predicted this trade in the last video I made, so I already knew quarterbacks were going to go 1 and 2. I was pretty certain of that, and now it's almost guaranteed. So, as far as who came out a winner in this trade, this is a lot different than the Tennessee and LA trade. First of all, Cleveland. This is a good trade for Cleveland. It's not as good as Tennessee's trade. And the reason I say that is Tennessee already had a franchise quarterback. Cleveland does not. I know that the new Cleveland's front office is led by the guy from the Moneyball, and he does advanced analytics and all that. So nobody really knows what he's doing yet or how he's going to maneuver for the future. But I'm sure the more draft picks he has, the happier he is, just because it's a very low percentage chance that you hit on your draft picks. So the more you have, the higher percentage chance you get a good caliber player out of it. So I feel as though Cleveland made a good trade here, but it also could backfire in their face. If Wentz turns out to be a Pro Bowl quarterback or a franchise quarterback, Cleveland will look back on this and hate themselves for the next decade. And that is the exact reason, too, that this is a huge gamble for the Eagles. Where the Eagles and the Rams differ, the Rams have a good defense already in place. They're young and upcoming. The Rams have an offensive line that's pretty good. The Rams have a running game. The only thing they were really missing, wide receivers and a quarterback. They're going to get their franchise quarterback, and they get to choose. And apparently they wanted Goff really bad, so they're going to go get Goff. The Eagles, however, do not have a great defense. They do not have a good running game. They do not have an offensive line that's particularly good. And they do not have a great receiving core, though I will give the Eagles the better receiving core than the Rams. But the incoming quarterback is not going to be put in nearly as good a situation in Philadelphia as he will be put in LA. And Philadelphia gave up this year's first, this year's third, this year's fourth, next year's first, and 2018 second. So that's 2 firsts, a second, a third, and a fourth. That's not as much as LA gave up, but they also only moved up 6 spots in the draft. Philadelphia doesn't even have a second round pick this year, so I don't think they have another pick until late in the fourth. So they could still potentially get a wide receiver, or an offensive lineman or something like that, but it's not looking as good for them long term to make this deal. They gave up this year's first, next year's first, the year after that second. Those are a lot of early picks, and they are going to need those because they have a lot of holes to fill. So Philadelphia could also look back on this, and if Wentz doesn't pan out, then they can look back on this, and this could be a terrible trade for their franchise. I've been watching a lot of videos from Eagles fans on this, and a lot of Eagles fans are pissed, especially since Sam Bradford just got his money and Chase Daniel just got his money. So the Eagles came out and said Sam Bradford's their starting quarterback. How are you going to go up and make this kind of move for a quarterback, and he's going to sit the bench all year? That's going to be a hard sell to those fans. Not only that, but you just gave Bradford some big money, and now he's going to be gone after next year, if he even stays. Bradford's pissed off, and rightfully so. Apparently he wants a trade to get out of there. I would want a trade as well, and he even said he'd be willing to take a pay cut. The dude got told he's the franchise quarterback and got paid like he's going to be a starting quarterback, and now they move up to draft a quarterback. Philadelphia, this might have been a bad move on your part. I can see the logic behind it. I don't think it's guaranteed to be a bad move by any regard, but Wentz better pan out. And if I was you, I would trade Sam Bradford. Even if you don't get much for him, he's going to be gone. Why not get something for him? Especially since you just gave up draft picks. I don't understand your mindset of keeping Bradford for a year and then cutting him. By doing that, you had like $6 million dead money, I think it was. You trade him, you still get the dead money, but at least you're getting something out of it. Philadelphia, you do you. This could be great for you if Wentz pans out. It could be terrible for you if he does not pan out. Another interesting tidbit on this, I've been thinking about it more about the Tennessee trade, and Tennessee could come out all-time freaking great winners in this deal. If Laremy Tunsil falls to number 5, let's say San Diego doesn't pick him, Dallas doesn't pick him. If he falls to number 5, if Jacksonville is really worried about Myles Jack's knee, like some reports say, I don't think they are, but if they are worried about Myles Jack's knee, Tennessee can move back up to number 5, probably only give 1 first and the earliest of the 3 second-round picks they have. You move back up, you still get Laremy Tunsil. You would have netted next year's first, next year's third, and 1 second round and 1 third round pick this year. Next year's first, next year's third, and 2 second round picks this year, or 1 second round pick this year. You would have netted that and still got Laremy Tunsil. That would be so good for them. Tennessee has so many options right now. I'm not a Tennessee fan, and I'm excited for them. So we'll see how that pans out. As far as this Eagles trade goes too, how it affects the rest of it, I already predicted they were going to go quarterbacks 1 and 2, so it doesn't change much. It does alter, however, the Browns, obviously. It alters Miami, actually, because the Eagles were one of the teams that were in hot contention for Ezekiel Elliott. But now, moving ahead to go get a quarterback, that might mean Ezekiel Elliott falls to Miami. And I'm a little bit excited about this because I've heard that Miami is seriously considering trading up, and I don't want Miami to trade up. So if Ezekiel Elliott falls to us, I will be happy. Anyway, that was the update here. It was right around, I think, 4:19 the news broke, or 4:20 the news broke in 2016. So again, I'm still going to do a mock draft the week of the draft, which is next week. And I might even do a reaction video to Miami Dolphins pick when it happens. So keep in touch with that, and go Dolphins.